Wasudo nyako Ramogi, Jatend migao mar thieth Susan Nakhumicha kawuono chopo e mbele komiti mar thieth e od bura mamalo kod duoko penjo e wi weche momakore kod migape mar thieth. Moko kuom weche milose gin okenge moseketi e kedo kod tuo mar malaria, ka bende igeno gol duoko e wi ng'anyo mar lakteche ma ochakore ayanga kawuono. Nyako Ramogi wadani wawinjane achiel kachiel gima timore e od bura e kinde ma Jatend migao mar thieth Susan Nakhumicha ochopo kuom jood burago.
Delaying remittances to NHIF to pay service providers. What is our position as a ministry on that issue? Because as long as people feel that late payments, there is punishment for individuals, but there is no punishment for corporates, government ministries, and government agencies. This violation, even with coming in of SHIF, it will still continue. And we'll have the Social Health Authority again in the exact same position that NHIF is in today in terms of timely payments for services to hospitals and other service providers.
I think, Honorable Mbele, the CS said she was in Treasury this morning trying to sort out the same thing.
Yeah. You see, going to Treasury is a stopgap measure. So is that what we'll tell Kenyans, that we'll keep going to the Treasury? I have asked a fundamental question. Parliament has deducted my NHIF from my salary, my contribution to NHIF. Why should the Parliamentary Service Commission delay in remitting that money to NHIF? And what is our position as the Ministry of Health?
I think the CS, you can quickly comment.
Chair,
as I release you to leave.
Thank you, Chair. I think I had, Honorable Madenge, I had responded to that before you came. I said under the Social Health Authority, one of the changes that we have done is deduction at source for Social Health Authority. That the remittance, for example, of Parliament, instead of Treasury forwarding money to Parliament, for Parliament to deduct and send to Social Health Authority, our Social Health Authority funds shall be deducted at Treasury and sent to Social Health Authority without coming through Parliament. So that then we cut that link of delay. And it's not just Parliament. Many government institutions, they do statutory deductions, but they delay to remit to NHIF. So under the new laws, it will be at source, that Treasury then sends the money for SHA to SHA and sends the rest of the money to other institutions for them to take care of the other of the things. So in terms of enforcement, again, Treasury will tell you is a matter of availability of exchequer. Chair and honorable members, this committee is the one that gives resources to institutions under the Ministry of Health, including if there are supposed to be resources for social protection. The last budget that we did, Chair and honorable members, to this committee, you know that we have a gap of 97 million from what we requested and what...
Let's not go in that direction.
So, Chair and honorable members...
members, please, I kindly ask you to remain behind. The minister is
Chair,
free to
I'm
leave.
going to ask about...
No, you will ask. The minister, you are free to leave.
No. Waziri, I'm asking this. No. I want to ask about Stephensis. There is a very fundamental issue, Chair. This report starts by saying, the molecular analysis conducted on the recently discovered invasive mosquito has confirmed its existence, but examination of the sporozoites to assess malaria transmission by the vector has yielded negative results. And often specimens collected from the specific counties have shown no evidence of being infected with malaria. Now, everything we are putting in place is on the assumption that Stephensis is transmitting malaria. But our very statements start by saying it doesn't. Now, the only thing we have, Chair, is that we are going that in Ethiopia and Djibouti, it is known to transmit malaria. Now, we are therefore put with a bigger problem, not of developing programs, but of actually detecting whether the Stephensis in this country is the same as Stephensis in every country. We know, Dr. next to you knows, that there are very many mosquitoes that actually don't even transmit other diseases. For example, Rift Valley fever is mosquito-borne. It is rampant when it came, it was in Marsabit. So my question is, are we developing a program on the basis of an assumption, or are we also going ahead and doing research at molecular level to know whether the Stephensis we have in Kenya is actually transmitting malaria? Because that's the basis of the whole question. If that is not true,
the Deputy Director General is an epidemiologist by training. I think we might, if you don't have adequate answers, we'll call you back to the committee.
Thank you, Chair. I think the starting, what Dr. Nyekal has read is actually pointing towards the continuous analysis and research that is being done to make sure that, one, the vector is present and it was confirmed to be present, but also to see whether it's carrying the parasite that causes malaria. And that is what we have seen. It is not causing. At that point, the research was done, it is not causing. The quarterly surveillance that is ongoing for this vector and the parasite is actually to have a continuous way of looking and detecting the presence of these parasites. The malaria program is there because we have malaria. It is not started because of Stephensis. So it is just expanding the surveillance component to make sure that in the areas where the vectors are detected, we have continuous surveillance to ensure that whether it is carrying the parasites or not, and whether, and you know, Dr. that Stephensis also carries Vivax. Because we are doing, so we are also looking at that, because then it will mean that we have to also add Primaquine into the treatment schedule. So this is continuous surveillance to make sure that we are monitoring the vector itself, the types of parasite it is carrying, if there is any, so that we can be able to provide the guidelines for treatment appropriately.
So the bigger issue actually would be, because there has to be